Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Extra, and what a special treat we have tonight. Not one, but two guests, and I have a feeling you may recognize both of them. Next to me is Vince Cellini. He has done so many things in sports broadcasting, CNN, the Golf Channel, Turner Sports. And across from me, I think you Tiger football fans may very well recognize Charles Davis, former University of Tennessee Volunteer. Now he's a Fox Sports analyst in college football games, including Mizzou games for years. Now he's one of the top NFL analysts on Fox. Guys, thanks for being here. This is cool having you in our little studio.
Yeah, we just happen to be in Columbia, so we thought we'd
pretty
stop by.
good. And Chris, thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
Well, it's good to see both of you and have you here. Now, they were a little nervous about being on television, but I'm trying to work with them and coax them through here as we go. But
we appreciate that.
I knew you would. In all seriousness, so these two guys who are, as I mentioned, nationally known in the sports broadcasting industry are working with a longtime friend of mine, Craig KANN, one of my classmates, if you can believe that, class of 1988. We graduated. Right. I got the diploma. If you don't believe it, I'll show you later. I'll prove it.
We believe you.
I appreciate that. Craig was with the Golf Channel for many years as a top anchor there, and now he's branched out to what he calls KANN Advisory Group, and a division of it is KANN Collegiate. And here these two fellas come. And I want to let you take it from there. One of you go first, the other. Exactly what you're doing here in Mizzou, because I understand you're visiting with the Mizzou Tigers teams.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. I'll start off and Vince will jump in. You mentioned KANN Advisory, KANN Collegiate. What we're doing is we're going to work with the University of Missouri. We have a multi-year contract with them to work with their athletic department and their athletic teams. And a lot of it is when people hear media training, they think, oh, give them the right answers, all that. A lot more of it is their brand, Missouri's brand, elevating who they are. That's one of the things that Craig talks about all the time is how do you elevate? And I think that's one of the slogans and the hashtags that you're going to see from these Missouri athletes going forward. Hashtag elevate. How do you elevate your performance? How do you elevate who you are? How do you elevate Mizzou? All those things rolled in together to give them their best look and be the best version of themselves and the best version of Mizzou. So we're here to try and help them do that, and we're pretty excited about the venture.
And this is our launch, and we're really excited about the fact that we've assembled a really strong team. Charles and myself, we also have Tiffany Green, and we also have Angel Gray, a couple of broadcasters, ESPN for Tiffany, and Angel Gray does Cavs games and WNBA, and so between all of us, there's about 100 years of television experience. And what we're trying to do is not only the branding, but make the athletes understand the impact and the residue of being on camera and understanding just exactly what that means and how impactful it becomes not only in the moment, but for your school, the future. And 20 seconds could make a difference in your life if somebody catches that particular clip and you can get your message across. So we're trying to shape this because kids are on social media today.
Yeah, they live their lives on stage.
But we're talking about the bigger scope of things in media.
They live their lives on stage, and they have from the beginning. So to them, that's just normal. So a conversation that you and I would have, or me and Vince, where we would just have it, they will have it on social media and think that's just a conversation. They don't realize other people are seeing this conversation.
A lot of other people.
And it's not necessarily always a bad thing. Some of the things are very good, but at the same time, we're just trying to help them hone their message, help them hone what they are and what they're doing.
Vince, college sports are so popular now, especially at this level, Missouri and the SEC, all the attention. These kids are on the spotlight a lot, and especially at this level. And I would say, too, here at Mizzou, it's not just talking to the media. That's how the fans see them and listen to them. So I think there is a lot of growth potential, whereas guys like yourselves who've been there, done that, so to speak, can really help them because it's such a big part of things, not just for them, but for so many of their fans.
Well, that's a great point, Chris, because Missouri's so high profile, as is the SEC. And I often talk to the kids, and the young people,
about we're giving away our age.
about really a 20-second conversation and how much impact that can have with someone. You may not remember all the people you cross paths with, but in that interaction, you're making an impact and you're making an impression on someone, and that's their snapshot of you. So when you're playing at a high-profile place with Mizzou across your chest, there's a responsibility for yourself, your family, and certainly your school. You're a representative all the time. So we're trying to get them to kind of shape that, hone it a little bit, and understand that you're branding yourself, but you don't want to damage your brand either. So it's always protecting that and always moving it forward.
Charles, you played at such a high level at Tennessee, the sport of football. Can you imagine if social media was around then? I don't,
Chris, how many times have you heard one of us say, I'm so
glad we didn't have social media.
Yes,
during that
seriously.
time frame, to have to navigate that what potentially could be a minefield. But these youngsters that we're seeing nowadays, it's not a minefield for them, it's their playground. And this is where they exist. This is how they live. And things that we will go, hey, be careful with that. They're, what are you talking about?
Don't think twice.
And I think that Vince and Craig and the rest of our team will have a chance to talk to them about some of those things that maybe they're not seeing, but at the same time, not change who they are. We want those great personalities to come out. This is Mizzou. This is a fantastic place, and you and I have known each other for a long time. Been coming here it's been a while since I've been here, but I used to come here regularly. Love this trip. Love this program. Love this atmosphere, and those fans. They're ready to rally with these kids. They're ready to be around them. This gives these kids an opportunity to rally with those fans.
Yeah, it's great to have you back here after your years covering the Big 12 when Missouri was there. And, of course, now you moved on to the NFL. And Vince, one more thing about what you guys are doing now. This is, I think, such a great place to launch this. Craig's alma mater in a school where, it's known for the School of Journalism. They get probably more attention than even more successful places traditionally because of the J School and all the student involvement as well. So we're glad you're starting out here at Missouri first up on this.
We think it's a perfect launching place for us as well, because you mentioned journalism. And part of what we do is I think we want to enlighten some of the student athletes about exactly how television works, what this process is like, how you're filtered through the eyes of reporters and people who cover the games. And so we want to make sure that they have the best representation of who they are for that. And, when it comes to, we said media training, I can remember doing media training on TNT years ago with the old Inside the NBA. We would get one of the NBA players to sit in as my analyst who'd never done TV. Here's a shot sheet. Here's some of the things we're going to talk about. And some guys would just be like petrified. Other guys kind of they took to it. And so you have to understand the power of that camera and the power of your messaging and what this means moving forward for you and who you represent.
And we're living proof. It's not that difficult, really. You get the hang of it pretty
you
quickly.
You let a few of us in here, right?
Right. Before we let you go, real quick, you played in the SEC. Missouri's getting ready to start practice here within about 10 days or so. What are your thoughts on the Tigers in the final minute we have?
A lot of excitement, and it should be. There should be excitement. It was funny. I was talking with Drew Lock last year at the Senior Bowl, and I said to him, I was getting ready for an NFL game, and you were playing Tennessee, playing my alma mater, and it was a tight ball game. And I said, okay, I've got to go get ready for a meeting. So I hop in the shower and I come out. All of a sudden, Missouri's up 40-17. And I went, how long was I in that shower? You saw what was going on with this team the last few years. You see where they've progressed now. I think Coach Odom has exactly what he wants in terms of staff, how the players are responding, athletic ability, brand new quarterback in Kelly Bryant. This is a team that's going to give people a lot of trouble and have a great chance of challenging. In the East, it's going to be Georgia and Florida you're going to talk about. After that, it's wide open, and that doesn't mean Missouri can't come up and get Georgia and Florida at some point, too. So I think there's going to be a lot more excitement on the East side of things now than there has been in the SEC in the past. And thanks again for having us here.
Thank you so much.
We just think it's so apropos that we're starting in Missouri. Craig Kann School.
You bet.
And I think it's a really big deal for these student athletes to see someone from their school doing as well as Craig, bringing this back to them. And so we're appreciative of Craig giving us this opportunity.
Thank you for being here. Make sure he buys all the meals. He knows the local places and is frequent them often. Restaurants we're talking about, not the bars, the restaurants.
We're way ahead of you.
Okay.
He knows the bars.
Thanks,
Thank
Chris.
you, Charles.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd say I grew up watching these guys, but I don't know. We're about the same age, but I have been fans of theirs for a long time. To have them here, this is really special. Stay with us. We're back right after this.